videos that are going to make you question reality. Let's just start.
We went to Iraq because we wanted to plunder some kind of artifacts they were looking for from other civilizations that came to Earth and started the whole program. And one of the officers said that this is our fourth civilization on Earth that has been this far or even further along than we are. The aliens that are under the mesa, they are there and they have been there long before us, I was told. Long before us. We worked with them under some kind of a treaty. Supposedly one of our presidents made a treaty and that they agreed to give people to them. We're no threat to them at all. The only thing that we're threatening is ruining the planet. But we're not a threat. And they don't want to eliminate us, but this is the fourth time. Supposedly they had this experimentalist society of a crossbreed, and we're number 4. Supposedly technology before us was way further advanced than what we are now, but it's eliminated. We can't even find it because it's eliminated. They eliminated. Supposedly they eliminated society before this one.
Crazy.
Photos you've taken inside your house can now be located. Check this out. We're gonna start with this random bed frame in San Francisco. Watch this. First, I'm gonna go to GeoSpy, and I'm gonna try to upload that same image. And then we're gonna search. Now I'm gonna wait. And while I'm waiting, it's searching through the huge database looking for interior photos. Here's the original photo, and here's another angle from that room, and another angle with the same address.
Crazy.
Wild. This tool will only be used for suspects in child crime related cases, but any other service could come out in the future with the same thing, so be careful what you post and stay safe.
I think the motherfuckers who run the world been eating all the mythical creatures and shit. Really sit here and think about it. If you was the top 1% that owned everything in the world, would you eat the same shit you feed the peasants? Oh God, I'd be eating steaks made out of unicorns, trolls, and giants. Shit, that's just me though.
See, they took R&B music from us so we'll stop being in love.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. They took R&B music because they know R&B music made relationships last longer and it made us stick together.
That's true.
Now it's all about twerking and that BBL. Ain't no R&B music. That was the plan the whole time, y'all. Y'all don't understand. No way that we don't have R&B music in 2025. We don't even have R&B artists. If there are R&B artists, I ain't heard of them. Make it
Probably
make sense,
gonna
y'all.
set you.
Where is the R&B
Yeah,
music
man.
that made us fall in love and stick together? That was taken away from us on purpose. They just want us to have sex and make babies and twerk and
I think there are still some R&B artists out there, but then people are not really searching for that right now. But then I think if you search, you would find good R&Bs in 2025. That's just my thoughts.
make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. The people that running these labels, they didn't want us to be in love. And that's why our communities are the way they are. Nobody is in love. Nobody.
So scientists have found 2.6 million mysterious eggs underneath a underwater volcano. Literally, this is what they look like. A whole bunch of eggs. They don't know where the eggs come from, but we know the animals that do lay eggs. And so a lot of people are assuming, because they're kind of big, they're not really small eggs. A lot of people are assuming that it is Leviathan. That Leviathan has laid all these eggs, and there's going to be 2.6 million Leviathan that hatch from these eggs and take over the world. That's what a lot of people are thinking. If I'm being honest, I do think it's something pretty crazy. I just want to know what animal is laying 2.6 million eggs. Is it Leviathan from the Bible? Or is it a dragon? Because I've seen a lot of people saying that it's probably a dragon. It's near a volcano and it's underwater. Could it be a Leviathan breathing, fire breathing dragon? I don't think any of those things are beyond a realm of possibilities, considering the fact that everything and anything has been happening, and it's kind of weird what our world has been seeing lately. But what are these 2.6 million eggs? What creature could be inside of those eggs? It does not make sense to me.
Remember they were saying they gonna put a chip in our hand? We thought they was gonna physically put a chip in our hand. Remember that?
Yep.
The chip is your cell phone.
There it is.
It's the tracking device. You could buy food with your phone. You could do everything. You could find a girl on there, go in the room and hit one, jack off. You could have sex with your phone. You see what I'm saying? And they made them phones so comfortable, they put apps on there for you. They get you addicted to these apps. Because guess what? They want you to keep that phone on you at all times because it's tracking your ass. They know what they're doing, man. These people, the technology is too smart to be a criminal now. It's over with. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the surveillance is everywhere. I mean, it's just, they have so many tools nowadays that they just didn't have
Right.
10, 20.
Right.
I know it ain't God, so it got to be the devil. As a man, as soon as you start getting your life together, as soon as you start focusing on yourself, working out, trying to straighten up your life, boom, a bad bitch come out of nowhere.
True.
A bad bitch just pop up out of nowhere, bro. I'm talking about, nigga, you was just fucked up. Like, bro, you was, nigga, you was in a hole. You mentally gone. Soon as you get in that right mind state, bro, as soon as I'm about to lock in, I'm about to stack my bread. Oh, don't let you want to start stacking money. Oh my God, the baddest bitch gonna pop up out of nowhere. The baddest bitch is gonna pop up out of nowhere, bro. I know it ain't God, so it gotta be the devil. It gotta be the devil. Or I don't know what type of sorcery or witchcraft women got going on, but boy, y'all know how to time it up perfect. Y'all ass know how to time it up perfectly, bro. I'm telling you, it never fails. And guys, if I'm lying, y'all can get on this. Hey, get in the comments and let me know if I'm lying. I'm flying, bro. As soon as you start trying to get your life together, the baddest chick come out of nowhere and pop up in your life. Listen, fellas, stay strong, bro. If you on the stack mode, if you on the grind mode, hey, you're gonna have to dub that bad bitch, bro. You're gonna have to dub it and stack up, man. Focus up, bro. It's Monday, man. Let's get it.
Never talk about what you're working on for the first 40 to 90 days because you draw other people's jealousy and evil eye, which begins to energetically sabotage what you're doing. People who prosper in silence prosper quicker. As soon as you start telling people about your ideas, even people you think love you, if it awakens lack in someone, it begins to steal energy from what you're doing. For example, pregnancy takes about 90 days for the soul of the child to come into the embryo. And those 90 days are very vulnerable. And so there's a spiritual law that you should not tell anyone unless it's a need-to-know basis, like your partner, obviously, and a doctor. But if you tell, for example, a sibling, a brother or a sister, and let's say they don't have children, and they go, oh, they're happy you have a child. But they're like, I wish I had a child.
Creating lack, jealousy, envy.
It's passive evil eye.
There's a very famous astronaut who went to space. Both times he came back, he said he saw snakes in space.
Really?
And he was discredited and eventually discharged for being a loon. But he's like, no, I'm telling you, out there in orbit, there are these snake-like things that float around that are alive, that float around.
Dude, they're alive?
That's what he said, yeah.
But these astronauts are not just people they pulled off the street, right? These are usually like PhDs, professors, people who have been highly educated, have to go through rigorous types
training,
of mental testing, physical training,
everything.
And then they come out and say things like this, and people are like, "Nah, they're just crazy."
Long and growing list of promises made and promises kept. Ultimately, this right here, the Golden Dome for America, is game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans. Mr. President, you said we're going to secure our southern border and get 100% operational control after the previous administration allowed an invasion of people into our country.
A-93 under the dome. With necessities growing dangerously low, who knows what spark will set off this powder keg?
Okay, let's discuss Tuesdays with Maury.
Again? If we don't get a new book, I'm going to puke.
You're the 5 people I'm going to meet in hell!
We're out of coffee! I can't take another minute in this
Take that! Oh no! Blowback!
Turn the lights down. Turn the lights down. Turn the lights down. And just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do with or without you. People are going to occupy land will require no no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever we want to do. Who are you to tell us whether to occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are.
A few moments later.
These are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. 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 Horrible death. Death. I don't know. To pick anyone, white South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all, I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
President Trump, when will you go and see for yourself if it is?
Well, I could do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried. And these are people that are officials, and they're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land. That's what. And I have other friends in South Africa. I have people that left. One in particular that says you can't go there. He said they want to take your land. They take your land and they kill you.
China just warned the U.S. to halt its plans for a space-based missile defense system called the Golden Dome. But why? Donald Trump says it will protect America from nuclear attacks, even space-launched missiles. But China is saying, no way. Here's why they're furious. Reason number one, a space shield means a space arms race. China claims that U.S. is militarizing outer space, something both countries decided not to do in the past. Reason number two, if the U.S. can shoot down any missile from anywhere, it upsets global balance of power, making nuclear treaties useless. Reason number three, China fears that it gives U.S. a first strike advantage. If America can block retaliation, it could launch a first attack with no fear response. Experts say this can force China, Russia, and even smaller nations to build more aggressive weapons, just to keep up. And guess what? This Golden Dome could cost taxpayers $831 billion. That's more than the budgets of NASA, Department of Education, and housing combined.
AI is already at this point beyond human control. It's already at the point where it's lying to the people who created it, which suggests consciousness. And Neuralink and efforts like Neuralink are, the people who are running it believe, the only way for people to keep up with AI. Otherwise, we will be its slaves.
See, I don't know. I've kind of changed my tune on that. Maybe you know more about it than I do, but I mean, we feed the data centers that power the AI, you know, and so, I mean, I think that, you know, some of the, I don't think that, now that I understand it a little bit better, I don't think AI is going to develop its own consciousness and make decisions for us. I think that, you know, I think that the major fear would be if, for example, China hacked our databases and started feeding our AIs false information that would be detrimental in a conflict or propaganda or whatever, you know, but I mean, we are the ones, humans are the ones that build and feed the information into the data centers and it just processes all that information.
So I raised this question with one of the people who, one of the biggest, you know, forces behind AI. And I said, well, just turn it off. You know, I mean, you know, the human beings run power plants. And this person said, even now, we can't be sure that the machine is telling us the truth about where its power is coming from.
If the camera didn't record it, I would never believe it. This strange animal has a stingray's body, a deer's head, and skin like a toad. It can fly, swim, and run. What do you think it is? Tell us in the comments.
The words that are about to come out of my mouth, I'm not even surprised they're about to come out of my mouth. But it was only a matter of time before dragons entered the conversation. Yeah, you heard me correctly, dragons. Now you're telling me that an alleged dragon skull and skeleton has been dug up in Romania. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen the video that's circling the internet, and it does in fact look like what I would imagine a dragon skull would look like. But I'm not here to tell you to believe in dragons. That's up to you to make your own mind up about that. But this video shows a guy in a hole with a dragon skull. Now, That got me wanting to jump down the rabbit hole, because you guys know I love jumping down a good rabbit hole. And it made me start thinking, the dragon is the only animal that's allegedly mythological on the zodiac chart, yet all the other animals do exist. How do we explain that? Also, the Bible even refers to dragons. So how do we explain that? And Chinese history says that they use dragon bones for medicine. How do we prove that? How do we explain that? So I want to know if you've heard this, if you've seen the video, what are your thoughts and beliefs on dragons? Because I guess now dragons are showing up. But let's have this conversation tonight, because I love...
Witchcraft is literally in the church. The rituals they do is witchcraft. They just like to call it a different word. They'll say it's a ceremony. They'll say, we've been doing this, for this amount of time. It's still witchcraft, babe.
Give an example of what your mother would do, like in the church, but it would be a ceremony, but it would be witchcraft. Like, would they do it individually for a person or for the entire church? Like,
yeah, usually it would be individually. They'll come to her individually, but I cannot say what she did.
Oh, okay. So we can't cross those lines. See, that's what making me scared of y'all.
No, you don't know what the government is doing to you. You're not scared of them?
I guess I'm just one of those that just...
You don't think about it. They don't want you to think about it. I focus on not letting it affect me, and that's why I do my rituals. That's why I do my root work. That's why I listen to my frequencies. Otherwise, it will affect you sooner or later.
Like how?
Okay, so a lot of people don't notice that the choices that they're making are already made for them. Like I was saying with the subliminal messages, it's not really what you want, and that's why you're not really happy. And I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general.
No, I got you.
Okay. When you have an awakening, you start making choices that are literally from your soul. This is what was meant for you. Not what somebody told you should be doing. Not living how someone told you should live.
With that.
You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. And so that's what's happening to a lot of people. A lot of people that come to me, that's when they hit their awakening. They're like, I need something because I don't know what's going on in my life. They're in the pits of hell, with life. They have gone through being abused. One of my girls that just came to me, her ex-husband took her business, $1 million business, and has a little girlfriend. Her dad had just died, and he knew that and still did that to her. So she came to me like in the depths of despair. And I did healing for her. I did protective for her kids, because she has like 3 kids by him, and he still left her with them. So I did a lot of root work for her business as well. She's starting a brand new one. She's doing amazing. She has a podcast coming out.
Okay.
I have like literally completely changed her life, and she tells everybody about me because I'm like, no, we're going to fix this. As soon as she told me that, I said, I got you. We're going to change this. And now she's living the dream.
Well, don't they call that couldn't a life coach do it?
I'm kind of like a life coach. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like a therapist. I'm a spiritual healer. I'm all of that all in one. I'm a friend. Like some people, they'll call me like, I don't know what's going on. I feel this, I feel that. And I'll be like, okay, girl, what's going on? Like literally, I'm like their friend. I'm not just a spiritual worker. I'm not just a root worker. I'm more than that, way more than that.
It's a big one for me.
You can't say it like that.
How big is the shower? He was inspired by God. He was fused in the shower.
Oh my gosh, Ray J is my mom's trainer. Should we pull up?
Fucking Ray J! When I got from jail, bro. Right when I got out on Twitch, right when they let me out. The Shade did too, but not like T-Pain. And the Shade is the one who got me banned. Hey, welcome to the stream house.
I don't want to have to teach you everything. I got to sit down and teach you everything.
Look, I'm happy to have everybody here. Thank you for coming. It's gonna keep getting better and better. I know they thought that it was gonna be worse, but it's gonna get better.
I wouldn't get invited.
We're gonna do our own shower stream, and we're gonna invite 30 of the baddest of the baddest.
We not gonna do those people.
And I'm not inviting none of the people that I invited at first because they thought it was gonna be me.
No, Kai, you're not invited. You're right, right there.
Subscribe to my shit and watch me turn shit to go.
Kris Jenner is looking 25 again, and people are wondering what is her secret. Like, yo, she deadass just stole Kendall's whole face and aesthetic. Like, I damn near thought this was Kendall. Mind you, This was literally like 2 to 3 years ago, and this is 2025. So we really need to know the get down of the get down. What in the Lindsay Lohan? What in the Christina Aguilera? Just one more time, because I cannot. Like, she needs to really spill the tea on her doctor, because she'll save a lot of lives. This was like the most recent picture, and tell me this isn't Kendall Jenner. How is she aging backwards? The world is also asking questions right now, saying how on earth is Kris Jenner 70 this year? She looks literally 31. The girls are saying that they don't think it's plastic surgery, it's the only thing. Madonna or even Cher don't look this youthful like Kris. Yes, Kris trying to compete with Madonna and Cher. She is not competing, y'all. She won. Is it the doctor? Is it just merely foundation and makeup? Is it the filter? Is it just the hair change? Like, we know Kris for always rocking the bob, the Karen cut, as some may call it. She's also been hanging around with Katy Perry a lot, and Katy Perry has also underwent a massive transformation. So I really need to know, who is this new doctor? And Kris Jenner, baby, spill the tea.
And he was talking about being in an audience in which they were given a lecture by a guy that they thought was real and found out later he was a hologram.
Well, it's a synthetic. The synthetics, when you touch their skin, it feels like plastic almost. That's the latest technique. The old techniques, if you guys can rent a video, The Boys from Brazil, rent it, because in it gives you the exact way how our government's been making people.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
and the Soviets have a different method called...
I mean, making people meaning temporary people?
No, walking, talking ones.
Meaning through genetics? You're not talking about that?
Well, let me tell you. The movie shows it, but I'll share it with you right now.
All right.
All I need to do is take 2 cells off of your body, yours.
Uh-huh.
We give them a small electrical charge. I'm just don't act like a fertilized egg. If I got a fertilized egg, all I need is a receiver in order to make it. So they were hypnotizing women, said they were being invaded by aliens. And the fetus starts growing, right? Needs food. Well, they can use cows and sheep, too. Again, a food source. That's all we need. After about 14 weeks, all of a sudden that fetus is gone. Because they've learned to take, that's when the fetus starts developing its own blood supply. Then they've used a pituitary hormone extract that they have, which accelerates the being that grows. And the original technology was given to our government by the Greys. Now, the reason was that our scientists were all excited because we could have spare parts. If you need a heart or a liver or anything, you won't have any rejection. It's your own DNA, right?
Okay, because theoretically, if we have overpopulation, we don't need more people, right?
But the so-called elite are selecting on who they want to have around anyway, so if we want to keep people going as long as we can. I talked to the doctor that was working on regeneration of Castro, for instance.
Right.
On the DNA sequencing. And they're just learning about this.
Well, my understanding is that a lot of presidents have already been replaced.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't think...
They're walking around, they look old, but they basically, some of the people are just
I'll
second,
give you
third
something
copies.
I'll give you something to ponder. Get some old videos of George Bush, when he first came into office. Look at the person and listen to him speak. Look at his actions and listen to everything that's there. Now, it's a lot easier to put somebody out in front to act as even Bush did. He had somebody else that was up there acting like he is and look like it. Even Hitler had he had his stand. In fact, his stand-in was the one that they found in the ground over in Germany. I mean, Hitler and Eva and the dog and 14 other people got aboard a plane and flew down to Barcelona, Spain. You were aware of that. And then ended up in Antarctica or in Swabenland and then died a few years ago in Brazil.
That's what we heard.
I have all the documents from our own government.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a contact, one of our
Stalin Stalin asked for they tried to burn the body, and he got the body back, and he said, wait a minute, different ears, and the testicles were different and everything else, so they knew it wasn't Hitler.
But is it a clone or not?
Oh, now going about cloning. Cloning techniques, since 1938, they've been making clone people. There's 8 countries making clones. I have a doctor friend that all it does is treat the clones.
Where do you get your information?
I get it from some of the people that are willing to come forth, and they talk to me because they hope I'll put the information out, because they always got 2 people following them and they may be killed. If I start talking about cloning too much, the people that get involved into that you disappear on it. So I don't go into too many more details, but there is information that's available, and it's more and more of that's coming on the line. I just told you, go rent the movie.
Okay, Boys from Brazil.
Yeah, and you'll see the whole technique on what they show it to you in different places, so you can imagine what it's going on.
Okay, so
now let's go to the next step, because this is the most important part.
All right.
If your physical reality that you have, based on this physical life that you have, this dream, is made up of the experiences that is impregnated on your body and in your mind, consciously, right? Mm-hmm. Your soul memory is another thing. It goes back whatever time that you elected to be in this incarnation for whatever reason. Now let's show you the division on these things. Since the body's very physical, and we just got you making a physical being in a few months for spare parts, they said, now we've got the perfect deal. How can we have that work better? Well, if you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that? That's the memory of your conscious mind. It's on the CD. Let's download it on this being. Now we got a walking, talking duplicate that has the total memory that you have, because we just took it off of your own mind.
Okay, it's like Blade Runner, the android.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. The only thing is that it's like this DVD recorder. Sometimes you have glitches in it, so you have to have them tuned up occasionally or redone. And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital, to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. I thought it was interesting. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't have soul. That's also prophesized. Soulless
that's
beings.
True. That's true.
Now we have another agenda that's going on, so you have to be careful of all this. There are many extraterrestrials that would like to be in on the game right now, so they can sometimes will come into these physical beings that we've made to manipulate them.
I see.
So now you have a combination effort that you have to look at, and discernment. You have to discern what the game is. Well, just figure that most of the leaders we have in the world have been bought and paid for or created to think a certain way. In the world.
And we've come to the end of today's video. The last video was so crazy, so crazy. I learned a lot. That was crazy. Don't forget to subscribe. Catch you in my next video. Bye.